Good evening, you're still watching SABC News Channel. I am Tabiso Sitole, standing in for Mkolisi Masango. You're watching Trendz, so let's get the show started right now. Now, one of the biggest EDM music festivals, Ultra Music Fest, took place in Mzansi this past weekend. This year, the fest added a proudly South African stage that highlights the ever-growing Amapiano sound. Our producer, Silepa Maifadi, had a chat with Karen Soul, a budding EB&D producer who is perfect emerging artist between electro as well as house.
The world's premier electronic music festival, Ultra South Africa, hit Jozi and Cape Town hard last weekend.
We're out here at Ultra celebrating African electronic dance music.
Over 70,000 people were in attendance to witness as mega international and local acts hit the massive stages of this festival of sounds. But what does that look like? How do you identify the synergy?
This is like, obviously it's a big space for dance music. It's an international space, but for us as dance South African artists that have been doing this thing for a long time, it's a good space to be in. The dope thing about this year, this is not the first time South African dance artists have been on this, all of these stages at Ultra.
Yeah.
What is dope about this year is that I've seen more than 10, more than 20 artists, including myself. The last time I was here was in 2019, and I was with friends. And this year, I just made my debut, and it's been amazing.
For the first time, the Storm Room made an entry as the newest stage in the fest, showcasing the sounds and culture of Amapiano and Afro-tech music. The stage had performances from Musa Keys, Two Bunnies, Uncle Waffles, DJ Lelo What's Good, and DJ Mattel, just to name a few.
South Africa is not just Afro-tech, it's not just deep house. There's also techno, it's various genres. It's not black, it's not white, it's not Indian. So like obviously Ultra has represented EDM for the longest time.
Yeah.
But what people like fail to understand is that dance music is beyond EDM. It's beyond. Dance music has a lot of sub-genres, and Ultra, like all around the world, has always represented that. And in SA, that's why we have the resistance stage, we have the Amapiano stage. Amapiano is a part of dance, Afro-tech is a part of dance, EDM is a part of dance. Fully like bring that out and have the piano guys fully express themselves, the guys at resistance, techno guys, Afro-tech fully express themselves. South Africa is a very diverse crowd, diverse market, and this is the festival that fully like embodies that. Yeah.
The Storm Room had intended to end the show with Durban Gogo and Focalistic, who opted not to go on stage after they received the news of the untimely passing of Costa Titch, who had earlier performed on this stage. Trendz Live sends love and healing to those fans and those near and dear to him.
Now, South Africa has lost two artists in the music industry this week, jazz legend Gloria Bosman and Amapiano artist Costa Titch. Trendz would like to honor and pay tribute to them for the great impact they've had in the creative industry.
The mood at the Ultra South Africa Festival in Johannesburg was somber after Costa Titch collapsed on stage. It was later confirmed by his family with a statement on Instagram that the 27-year-old Nkalakatha hitmaker Constantinos Tsobanoglo, better known as Costa Titch, had passed away. He came into the creative industry as a dancer before he trailed through his own vibe with hit tracks like Nkalagata and multi-platinum selling single Big Flexer. Caster's catalog has collaborations with greatly acclaimed artists such as the late Ricky Rick and AKA, as well as Fields, Diamond Platinums, and recently Akon, who he announced a recording deal with through the musician and entrepreneur's record label Convict Culture. Tributes have been pouring in from his fans, the Titch Gang, industry fans, and everyone who adored him. More sad news came through this week as a statement was released confirming the passing of Mzansi's renowned jazz singer and composer Gloria Bosman, who passed away at the age of 50. The Soweto-born jazz legend has 6 albums to her discography and won 2 South African Music Awards and nominated numerous times for award platforms such as the Cora All Africa Music Awards. This greatly loved musician has worked with other greats, which boasts a catalogue that includes works with Hugh Masekela, Sibongile Khumalo, Vusi Mahlasela, Concord Nkabinde, and Sipho Hot Sticks Mabuza, just to name a few. Tributes have been pouring in for the jazz legend from all those she has worked with and greatly impacted. To the Titch Gang and all Gloria Bosman fans, Trendz Live would like to send you love and healing energy. May their great impact in the music industry be celebrated forever.
Meanwhile, scones, dainty sandwiches, pastries, and a steaming teapot. There's nothing quite like an afternoon spent enjoying a lovely high tea. With the Easter holidays and winter approaching, this is the perfect time to indulge in some sweet and savory luxury treats. Trendz Live producer Asanda Zondi will show you how it's done.
Winter is slowly creeping in, plus the Easter weekend is around the corner. So, what's the best way to enjoy the Easter holiday weekend and the best way to enjoy your winter? You must always have a cup of something warm and indulge in things that are so sweet. This is why today I'm going to convince you that this time around, you don't have to do it indoors, you don't have to stay at home. You can actually leave home and go enjoy your tea in a place that is vibey, laid back, and know that's gonna make you feel like Your Royal Highness. However, I'm not gonna tell you all about it. I have someone who's gonna spill the tea. Jeff, welcome to Trendz.
Thank you. Welcome to Just Teddy.
How did this dream come to reality? It looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Well, what started as a hobby turned into a fully fledged, fired with passion business. Something that started from something so small and minute as a food market store grew into a massive business that hosts 2 shops now in Johannesburg, one in Hyde Park and the newly built one that we opened in December right here in Nelson Mandela Square.
Okay, just give us the concept of the whole idea. What is it about? What when you're coming up with Just Teddy, what were you thinking of?
When we were thinking about this store, we wanted to extract more of the luxury. And the most important thing I think for somebody to do is to travel. And when I travel, when my family travels, we love to explore the luxuries of the world, such as the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates. So that being also Lebanese, as my family is, we merged that together and we wanted to create something that made you feel that you are in the Middle East, something that is a product of Dubai. And that's why the shop is very Middle Eastern, it's very rich, very gold, very luxurious. And you see that here. So the theme was Dubai, my favorite place on the planet.
If I leave home and it's winter or it's the Easter weekend, I want to come go out with my family and have a nice time, what am I going to find here at Just Teddy?
Who doesn't love a good cup of tea? Also got an amazing selection of coffee. As you said, you've just had a hot tea. While the beverage is warm, but the experience will warm your soul also. Hot tea is something that we take immense pride in doing and offering to our customers. We want you to experience the luxury of our brand and the warmth of my family. So when you come to us and have a hot tea, hopefully you'll see something different, something you haven't experienced, and something you'll take home and treasure.
I had the blue tea and I enjoyed it. It was the first time tasting something like that or drinking that kind of tea. Just tell us your selection, your type of cakes, what do you have in the food menu?
So from the hot tea, you had the halloumi, which is our Lebanese meze. It's part of the meze. From being Lebanese, meze is everything, small eats. I said, let's put it inside of a hot tea so you can nibble and experience what I'm so proud of, which is my culture. Being South Africa, it's a combination of many cultures. You must be proud of it. You had the meze on the high tea, but you also had the sandwiches, the luxury sandwiches. So we merged the best of both worlds. You can have half on half of both of our high tea menus as once if you are a larger group. In terms of our patisserie, we have a selection of baklava or French patisserie, and then again, it's merging both of my family's heritages, which is being Lebanese and also Parisian. We are French also. Lebanon was a French colony, and we've merged that with our business. Again, it's something that's honest and organic from my family. Our business is a reflection of who we are. We're not just a patisserie. There's not just sugar. We also have lettuce. We make salads. So we have a full cafe-style menu, breakfast, light lunches, and light dinner also. If you're on the health side, we also have a lovely selection of healthy eats such as salads, wraps, and so forth. So we've got something for everybody.
And by the way, during winter, being outdoors is not most people's cup of tea. But this experience is worth it, I promise.
Tea. I'm a coffee man myself, but I guess thank you very much, Mazondi. Nice one indeed. Now, Lesotho celebrated Moshoeshoe Day this past weekend. The day, which is a national holiday in the country, is to mark the birth of Basotho leader King Moshoeshoe I. The day is celebrated with laying wreaths at the gravesite at Tababusio, a celebratory parade and fun activities. This year, it came at the last day of the 16th Moshoeshoe annual walk, which is also one of the activities that celebrates King Moshoeshoe I's legacy. Our producer, Kidamilwe Mwalusi, was part of those festivities, and she filed this report.
The Kingdom of Lesotho hosted us for 3 days this past weekend. We walked from Menkgwaneng village in the Bothabota district through different villages and districts. We stopped at different locations for food, camping overnight, and mostly the highlight was learning at different heritage sites.
This place is called Dipetu. Dipetu is one of the places that Morena Moshoeshoe passed through with his entourage on the way to Tababusio. So what happened here is it was more like a hub of the cannibals. So when they reached here with their people, the cannibals used to kill the vulnerables, the elderly, the children and the women. So it is believed that his grandfather, Pete, was killed here, Morena Moshoeshoe's grandfather. So his Dipetu, which is the collarbone, it is believed it's buried somewhere in this area. So it's just part of the history as we go through the whole stages that Morena Moshoeshoe went through. At the end of the day, we all know he honored the cannibal who slaughtered his grandfather instead of alienating them. So they become part of him. As we go to the other places like Madimong, all the way to Tababusio, we'll learn more about what unfolded from here.
After a 116 kilometers walk, participants shared their experience.
Indeed, it is the mountainous kingdom. I've seen it because I think that you're supposed to tell us that on the invitation that we do hereby invite you for the Moshoeshoe walk, ascending and descending. Because we're going up, we're going down. But one thing I like most about this walk is that it promotes the issue of cultural heritages. Young people, we must safeguard our cultures and also promote the spirit of Ubuntu as human beings. And I'm truly grateful coming here to my Basotho kingdom and also using natural transport to walk. And the terrain, we couldn't have access to Wi-Fi, and I left my wife back home, so it was nice. We were just seeing the scenic views. And mostly, I'm passionate about trees. Next year, that you'll be celebrating 200 years since the departure of His Majesty Moshoeshoe, King Moshoeshoe I. So we've been thinking to pay tribute to Mother Nature by creating green heritage on his milestone, by planting 200 trees or 2,000 fruit trees. By so doing, we'll be promoting food security and also boosting ecotourism to the Basotho Kingdom.
The last day of the walk came on Moshoeshoe Day.
Once upon a time, there was this great King Moshoeshoe. He was a military strategist. Some military schools are using his strategies more than militaries now as we speak. It goes to say he was not just a leader, he was a very, very special leader in the African context. He was a great diplomat. But most importantly, I dare say, he was the first Pan-Africanist. Ha na re ho morwa, o ska ho morwa morwatuwe. He forged this nation from all the tribes that were running the Fakani wars. Ngunis, Basotus, all of them. This is why it's so nice and beautiful to see all the nation's flags here. We are celebrating our leader. He is not just a leader for Lesotho, but he is a leader for Africans.
Now, as seasons change, so does fashion. Fashion Week is looming, and curious as we may be of what's to come, we are also curious about, well, what's going into the preparation. Trendz Live producer Nadia, as she does, goes behind the scenes to find out.
Well, it's almost that time, SA Fashion Week, and today we're going behind the scenes to speak to the designers and the models. What exactly goes into casting models, and maybe speak to the designers about what inspired them for their new collection. Let's go. So what can we expect this time?
You know, I always say to people that the newness about Fashion Week are the collections.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, we are showing about 300 garments in total. We're showing 39 designers, and every single garment is a new garment that has never been seen before by anybody.
Yeah.
So for me, that is the main newness of Fashion Week. We also have the fashion bridges, of course.
Yeah.
So this season we have the Fashion Bridges program again, and that is between the Italian embassy in South Africa with Polimoda, which is university in Florence, and the Milan Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So this season they are going to choose designers to develop. There's a 6-month developing process, and then they're going to be in Milan with the Fashion Week. Certain designers will be chosen, so that is a huge opportunity.
Let's talk about this season's collection, and what are you looking for in the models?
So I like showing on models that are very comfortable on the runway. I like sort of slightly more womanly, with a strong walk, very simple way of walking, not too affected, and yeah, just somebody that can carry the clothes. I tend to show a lot of clothes, so I don't like it when the models feel like they are. The clothes are wearing them. They must have that presence that they can carry it.
Okay, so first let's talk, before we go to the casting, let's talk about what goes into putting a collection for Fashion Week.
You know, it's always so different with each collection. I find some collections I'm extremely organized, and some collections like this one, it's as I go, and that's a theme for this collection, as I go. It's for the traveling girl, the traveling man. It's so much fun to create. I think I've gone for something extremely street, like my first collection. The second collection I showcased last year was very prim, proper, beautiful, inspired by the English actually, and this time around it's inspired by sneakers. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I look forward to seeing it. Okay, so we've just seen the models. Maybe if you could tell me what you look for in when you looking at them walking.
You know, like every showcase, like I just said, it's always different. So right now, I was trying to go for the girl that looks a bit like me, for the man that looks, if I was a man, it would be that. It's for the caramel gold skin. It's for that deep brown. I'm looking for tall, very androgynous looking characters, not necessarily beautiful, but beauty in the characteristics of the face and the features.
What do you do in sort of in preparation for a casting?
Wow, that's a tough question because I just binge on snacks.
No way.
But yeah, just preparing, practicing with my catwalk. What else? Yeah, just trying to be in a positive mindset and staying calm as always, because you can come here with expectations of I'm gonna get the job, then you don't get it. It kind of affects your mental health. So just protecting my mental health, listening to podcasts, staying calm, cool, collected.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Trends. Do catch us next week. Police Marcel will be back with you. From myself and the team, good night.